In the heart of a desolate town, a once thriving hospital now stood abandoned, its halls echoing with eerie silence. Broken windows and peeling paint told the tale of a place that time had forgotten as nature slowly reclaimed the surrounding landscape. A cold wind swept through the empty corridors, carrying with it the ghostly whispers of former patients and the distant hum of medical equipment long silent. Each step within the hospital sent shivers down the spines of those brave enough to explore its decaying rooms. Dust-covered furniture, now home to spiderwebs, stood frozen in time, preserving the memories of the lives that once filled the now empty spaces. The reception area, where nurses once greeted anxious families, now housed only shadows that danced across the faded walls. An abandoned wheelchair, a relic of the past, sat in a dimly lit hallway, its wheels eerily squeaking as if propelled by unseen hands. The operating rooms, once scenes of life-saving procedures, now lay in disarray, surgical tools rusting, and the sterile scent replaced by the musty odor of neglect. As explorers ventured deeper, they discovered patient records strewn about, revealing the personal histories of those who had sought solace within these now forsaken walls. The morgue, a chilling reminder of the hospital's grim purpose, echoed with the haunting echoes of footsteps that were no longer there. Flickering lights cast unsettling shadows on peeling wallpaper, creating an illusion of movement in the corners of each room. The psychiatric ward, with its barred windows and empty cells, hinted at the struggles faced by those seeking sanctuary from their own minds. The rooftop, now overgrown with weeds, offered a melancholic view of the town below, a stark contrast to the bustling community it once served. In the abandoned chapel, broken stained glass windows filtered the pale moonlight, creating a surreal ambience as if the spirits of the past gathered in quiet reflection. The once bustling cafeteria, now littered with decayed trays and forgotten utensils, seemed frozen in the midst of a mealtime long past. The sound of creaking doors and distant footsteps fueled the imagination, as if the hospital itself retained a spectral memory of the countless lives it once cradled. The maternity ward, where the cries of newborns once filled the air, now echoed only with the hollow howls of the wind. A lone gurney in the hallway seemed to roll on its own, guided by an unseen force, a spectral reminder of the hurried activity that once characterized this place. Graffiti adorned the walls, a modern intrusion on the canvas of decay, adding an unexpected layer to the hospital's abandoned beauty. In the basement, long-forgotten medical equipment and discarded supplies painted a picture of a hurried evacuation, leaving behind a facility frozen in time. The abandoned pharmacy held rows of empty shelves, the remnants of healing potions and remedies now replaced by the silence of neglect. Birds nested in the collapsed roof, creating an unexpected symphony of chirps that reverberated through the skeletal remains of the hospital. The once pristine courtyard, now overgrown with weeds, held a forgotten statue of a compassionate nurse, a poignant symbol of the care that once defined this place. Shadows seemed to dance in the hallways, creating illusions of fleeting figures that stirred the imaginations of those who dared to explore. A dilapidated elevator, frozen between floors, creaked as if ready to ascend to a destination lost to time. Faint echoes of laughter and conversations lingered in the air, as if the spirits of former staff and patients still conversed in hushed tones. The rooftop helipad, now weathered and cracked, bore witness to the comings and goings of medical emergencies that had long since faded from memory. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the abandoned hospital, it seemed to sigh with the weight of untold stories waiting to be rediscovered. The abandoned hospital, a silent witness to the passage of time, held within its walls the echoes of a once vibrant community now lost to the ages. In the heart of a desolate town, a decrepit hospital loomed with a menacing presence, its windows shattered and facade tainted with a history of darkness. A thick fog clung to the air, obscuring the once prominent sign that now eerily flickered with a faint, ominous glow. As the moon cast an eerie pallor over the abandoned structure, the hospital seemed to come alive with malevolent energy. The creaking gates swung open with an unsettling screech, inviting those brave enough to explore the haunted corridors within. Flickering fluorescent lights created a disorienting strobe effect, casting long shadows that seemed to dance menacingly on the cracked linoleum floors. The reception area, adorned with cobwebs and faded magazines, held a dilapidated wheelchair that seemed to shift positions when unobserved. Hushed whispers echoed through the dim hallways, each whisper carrying tales of former patients who met gruesome fates within these cursed walls. In the operating theaters, rusted surgical instruments lay in disarray, each table bearing an uncanny resemblance to an altar of forgotten nightmares. Unsettling moans and spectral footsteps reverberated through the psychiatric ward, where the boundaries between sanity and madness blurred into a chilling symphony. The morgue, shrouded in perpetual darkness, emitted an icy draft that hinted at the lingering presence of the souls who had met untimely ends. The abandoned nursery, filled with broken cribs and faded lullabies, resonated with the distant cries of ghostly infants that only the bravest could discern. Peeling wallpaper revealed grotesque murals underneath, depicting nightmarish scenes that seemed to come to life when observed for too long. Shadows clung to the corners of patient rooms, where the lingering spirits of the ill and the suffering seemed to writhe in silent torment. In the deserted cafeteria, long-forgotten trays rattled as if the ghosts of former staff and patients convened for a macabre feast in the afterlife. Broken windows offered glimpses into rooms where flickering televisions played static-filled broadcasts of long-past medical procedures. The abandoned chapel, adorned with twisted crucifixes, echoed with blasphemous whispers that defied the sanctity it once held. An oppressive feeling of being watched intensified as visitors ventured deeper into the bowels of the hospital, where darkness seemed to consume reason. The once sterile corridors were now littered with discarded medical files, their contents revealing tales of experiments and treatments gone horribly wrong. A sudden drop in temperature accompanied the presence of a phantom nurse, her spectral form silently gliding through the hospital as if tending to invisible patients. Unexplained screams pierced the air, reminiscent of the anguish suffered by those subjected to the hospital's unholy experiments. Broken gurneys rolled ominously down hallways, as if guided by unseen hands eager to reenact the hospital's chaotic and tragic past. An abandoned wheelchair appeared to wheel itself down the hallways, a harbinger of the spectral entities that roamed freely within the haunted hospital. The smell of antiseptic, now tainted with a putrid undertone, lingered in the air, a haunting reminder of the hospital's forsaken commitment to healing. Ghostly figures materialized in mirrors, their hollow eyes reflecting the torment they endured during their time within the sinister confines of the hospital. A flickering elevator, seemingly operated by an otherworldly force, beckoned the daring to descend into the depths where nightmares festered. In the psychiatric ward, the scribblings on the walls depicted tormented faces and cryptic messages that hinted at the horrors experienced by the asylum's former inhabitants. A sudden blackout plunged the hospital into total darkness, amplifying the unsettling whispers that now seemed to converge into an unholy chorus. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the hospital into an abyss of shadows, it became clear that the malevolent energy within these walls would persist long after the last echoes of footsteps faded away. The haunted hospital, a grim testament to the atrocities committed within its forsaken halls, remained a chilling reminder that some places are best left undisturbed. Their secrets buried with the tortured souls who never found release from their eternal torment. On a desolate stretch of road, a sinister hospital car with faded, blood-red paint and an ominous aura prowled in the moonlight. Its headlights, a dull and malevolent glow, pierced the darkness, revealing a vehicle tainted with the scars of a gruesome past. The car's engine growled like a beast as it idled, sending shivers down the spines of those unfortunate enough to witness its presence. Windows cracked and tinted to an unsettling degree concealed whatever horrors lurked within, fostering a sense of dread in all who approached. Abandoned wheelchairs, dented and rusted, clung to the car's exterior like morbid trophies of the mysterious journeys it had undertaken. Each gust of wind seemed to carry with it ghostly whispers, as if the spirits of the car's previous victims beckoned for release from their spectral prison. The air around the car felt thick with malevolence, as if an unseen force was manipulating the very fabric of reality. Flickering brake lights created an eerie strobe effect, casting macabre shadows that danced on the pavement like specters performing a ghastly ballet. The car's tires left behind skid marks that seemed to form cryptic symbols, hinting at dark rituals and supernatural dealings. Unexplained stains marred the interior, the remnants of unspeakable horrors that had stained the fabric of the car's haunted existence. The radio emitted static-filled transmissions that, when closely listened to, revealed disembodied voices recounting tales of despair and tragedy. The car's trunk, ominously ajar, emitted an otherworldly glow, offering glimpses of mysterious and ethereal artifacts within. Unholy symbols etched into the dashboard hinted at a malevolent influence that had taken residence within the very soul of the car. The steering wheel, cold to the touch, seemed to move of its own accord, as if guided by an unseen driver with a sinister agenda. In the rearview mirror, fleeting glimpses of phantom passengers appeared, their hollow eyes reflecting the eternal torment they endured. The car's radio dial twisted on its own, tuning into stations that played distorted melodies and dissonant chords that reverberated through the air. The scent of antiseptic, intermingled with an overpowering stench of decay, wafted from the car, assaulting the senses of those who dared draw near. Muffled cries echoed from the trunk, whispers of suffering souls trapped in a netherworld between life and death. The car's windshield wipers moved rhythmically, clearing away non-existent raindrops as if engaged in a spectral performance. Abandoned medical supplies littered the backseat, syringes and bandages serving as haunting reminders of the car's sinister origins. The temperature within the car fluctuated wildly, creating an unsettling atmosphere that mirrored the volatile emotions of unseen entities. A spectral handprint appeared on the fogged-up windows, a chilling testament to the ethereal presence that clung to the car. The car's engine roared to life with a guttural scream, its tires screeching as it sped away, leaving behind an eerie silence in its wake. A trail of ghostly tire tracks lingered on the road, as if the car had left behind a spectral imprint on the very fabric of reality. Witnesses reported strange phenomena, from mysterious phone calls to haunting dreams, linking them to the cursed encounters with the hospital car. The vehicle became an urban legend, whispered about in hushed tones, its stories shared around campfires as a cautionary tale of the supernatural. As the moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow on the road, the hospital car prowled the night, its sinister presence forever etched into the tapestry of haunted tales.